recording a live stream. I'm not uploading the VOD because one, apparently my mic sounds off, but two is also not very loud, so that's fun. But one of my VODs I mentioned is that hey, one of the things that kind of stopped me from making myself like going live so long outside you know my surroundings. I don't want to ask everyone to be quiet around me so I can live stream. Also, because some of them won't be quiet because they have autism. But outside of that, is because of the fact that oftentimes when I'm playing games, I am watching something too or listening to something. Um, like take for instance Hades. Half the time I have to stop listening to whatever I'm watching to because of that. But one of the times I was watching Tony Savage, it was one of his older videos, right? And he was talking about Usopp, right? And there's a bunch you could talk about for that. Honestly, I don't think his take is that bad. I still think he's wrong, but the take isn't too bad per se. But like I was watching, and he's mentioned that Usopp should have a gun instead of a slingshot, right? And I didn't think about that until a while. Like I didn't even think about making a video about that until I was reading Hardcore Living Warrior, and I was gonna make a reaction talking about how like it was so funny to see him pull out a gun, but then about how like guns and fantasy is a very interesting thing, and I think Hardcore Living Warrior have the best example of how to mix those two, a gun and like a fantasy setting, while also making it make sense for like them to be bow and arrows too. But another thing is that when I was thinking about that, I was like, you know what? Tony said VC take about Usopp having a slingshot being like weird. They need to get serious and have a gun. Is the dumbest Usopp take I've ever heard. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not calling him dumb for it. I'm saying it's a dumb take because let me explain. First of all, even if this is a if like we are revealed that hockey can be used to accelerate things like bullets after they are shot, you do know that it was still apply to the slingshot, right? So you can just do the same thing with a slingshot. Second of all, being like we need like this is in game, we need to get serious here. When the protagonist of Power is Cartoon Bugs Bunny Super Saiyan, one of the crew members used a sword in his mouth, and another one has part of a spirit of a Yonko as their weapon, who also likes her. Really, man? And then also scientifically speaking, it make more sense because in the real world, yeah, like the thing that you David used against Goliath, bow and arrow, right? They have limits because of the fact that we have physical limits. But in One Piece, like characters can just destroy mountains. So like slingshot. Huh?